Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of correlation and regression, we will be considering the price development, particularly after the spike which we are seeing in the US dollar, mainly against the JPY. After the release of second estimate for the PCE index, the US price index, we have this increased volatility, and now as we are gearing up for the North American trading session, we have to figure out the opportunities which are likely to be optimum in terms of the profit, and if we happen to be on the wrong side, to be able to minimize the loss. That is always the key. So let us now head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the chart for the CAD JPY, but we mainly concern ourselves with the USD majors. We will be considering the price developments in the currency majors, including Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, USD CAD, USD CHF, and the USD JPY. Here, if we consider the spike in the dollar after this release of the US data, the economic releases, here we saw the dollar gaining ground and Euro USD went on to slide almost 20 pips, but on the lower side, it is able to hold above the immediate swing low for the day. So it seems like as of now, the 1.06 level is holding, and if we don't really see any further move on the lower side, we should be bracing ourselves for the consolidation phase in this Euro USD. We don't really have a directional momentum here on either side. Earlier in the day, it was trading with this bearish bias, but after making this low below 1.06, the momentum seems to have reversed. So here we have this possibility of the Euro USD consolidating in the limited range. So in light of that, we have to look for the opportunities while keeping the momentum as well as the trading range in mind. So if we consider these price developments for the Euro USD, we will have to trade carefully here. I think given the backdrop of we are likely to see the Euro USD again spiking to, and talking about the price clarity in the breakthrough. If we consider these hourly charting for the USDJPY, it has broken past the prior swing high of 135. So here, this new swing high has been established at 135.37. So given this new high in place, we can expect further move beyond these price levels. So if we see the USD holding closer to this immediate swing high level and not correcting much from these levels, in that case, we can indeed expect the USDJPY to consolidate and start to rise again. So that possibility is quite strong. So in today's session, the USDJPY is one of the best placed instrument to take advantage of the strength which we are witnessing in the dollar, particularly after the release of economic data for the United States. Let's consider the lower time frame charting. For USDJPY, here we have this fresh swing high in place, and this level above 135 is going to be crucial. So if we don't really see any correction, as I said, below these prior swing highs, and a shallow consolidation around this range can be opportunity for us to exploit the situation for our advantage. Now let's consider what's the development for other major currencies. The AUD spike from these lower levels. After the release, we saw this sharp jump on the lower side, but it didn't really hold below this immediate swing low, and now it is trying to climb again. But this is a consolidation phase with this slight bias on the bearish side, so we will have to keep this in mind and trade accordingly. Now the question is whether we have much more clarity, better opportunity in AUD/USD, or if we are better placed to ride the dollar strength in USDJPY. So for that, let's compare the price movements of the AUD and USDJPY first. For the USDJPY, the price momentum is on the bullish side. So we have the JPY looking a lot more bearish. So in these two comparisons of the AUD USD and the USDJPY, you can see that if we take out the US dollar, then we have the JPY, which is looking much more bearish than the AUD. AUD has also been consolidating with these bearish bias, but the JPY is clearly a lot more bearish if we do this correlational analysis with the help of timeline and the magnitude of the moves which we have seen so far. We have to put the AUD as slightly bearish, whereas JPY is strongly bearish in today's trading session while trading against the US dollar. Now let's see where the euro stands. For euro, we have seen this prior swing high forming lot earlier in the day. Since then, it seems to have been able to hold the ground and consolidate on these higher levels. So we have the euro, which is looking more bullish if we compare it to the AUD in comparison to these two other currencies, the JPY being the bearish and the euro being the least bearish of all these three currencies. Unless we have a fresh swing high formation above 1.062, we can't really say that the momentum is in favor of euro. As of now, it is simply a consolidation phase with the favorable outcome still in place for the US dollar. So in all these three charting patterns which we have seen so far, the JPY is the most bearish and the euro is the least bearish. Now let's consider NZD. It's taking some time for chart to load. Let's try different USD CAD. Internet speed seems to be affecting this loading of the chart. All right, here we are getting it. So here is USDJPY. Let's consider other major currencies as well. So for that, we will have to wait few seconds, it seems like. It is also taking time. The internet seems to be causing this problem. Alright, we got the NZD. NZD is in line with its Asia Pacific peer, the AUD. So here we have this fresh swing low formation, which was considerably lower if we compare it to the prior swing lows. So we have to put the NZD even to be more bearish than the AUD. So far we have seen four major USD crosses: the euro, the JPY, the AUD, and the NZD, and in all these, the JPY is the most bearish of these four major currency formation, with the USD JPY as the obvious choice for any trade to be taken with this expectation of the dollar to gain further in the day, further strength in the day. If we are expecting the strong moves in US session, then the USD JPY is looking like a obvious choice. Now let's consider USD CAD as well. In CAD, here we have this movement which is in line with its other major peers, and it is now declining and declining sharply in last few minutes. It has declined more than 20 pips from these days high. But if we consider these price moves, it is in a consolidation phase with these formation of higher highs and higher lows still remaining intact. So unless we have a fresh break below these immediate swing low, we can't really say that the momentum has changed for the CAD. So we will have to wait it out. And if we see a break below this level, then I think we can change our outlook. If we see these lower levels holding and consolidation on the lower levels for the USD CAD. Till then, we have to keep in mind that it is simply a consolidation phase with this formation of higher highs and higher lows. So the momentum is still in favor of the US dollar. Now the question is if the CAD is more bearish or less bearish than the other major currencies, and as we saw, the USDJPY is the obvious choice so far. So we have these momentum with the JPY being the obvious choice for further trade to be taken for buying of the US dollar. But if you expect the change in momentum later in the day, then euro is looking like a better placed option. If we see a further move beyond the immediate swing high, then of course we can change our outlook, but we will have to wait for these opportunities to emerge and the formation to confirm. Now let's consider USD CHF. USD CHF has also been trading with this bullish bias with the dollar having the upper hand throughout the day. But now, after this sharp spike, we are seeing this equally sharp move on the lower side. So we have to trade carefully here, cautiously here, and it is not looking like a obvious choice to go for a long trade at the moment. We will have to wait and see how things evolve. And now that we have to compare it with this formation of the Euro USD, it is of course less bullish in comparison to the Euro, but more bullish in comparison to the JPY. So our spectrum still stands with the JPY being the most bearish and the Euro being the least bearish. Till we have a fresh swing high in place, we can't say the momentum has changed for Euro. So if we get further confirmation in next few minutes, then maybe we can change our outlook and start looking for opportunities to buy Euro USD in a correction later in the day, later in the session. Now let's consider how things are shaping up for the equity segment. For equities, the momentum is looking mixed, as is the case with the